most people do not last from what I hear in this industry. And time blocking is critical. Time blocking.
Can you
And
explain a little bit more about time blocking for people who aren't familiar with that
so
term? Hello, friends. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode of Career Conversations. Today's guest is Judy Cazeau, and she is a CRE advisor and tenant rep specialist, solar developer, ecosystem builder, speaker, and 4M in transactional CRE portfolio. So I would like to welcome commercial real estate advisor, Judy. Welcome to the show.
hello, hello. Hey, Unica, how are you?
Doing well. How about yourself?
I am great. I am blessed and highly favored. Yes.
Yes, I love it. I love to hear it. So, I want to talk a little bit about your career journey since you are now a commercial real estate advisor. What does your family think you do when you tell them about your career?
It's funny because I'm a single mom, and I asked my daughter, uh, what does she think I do? And she said, "Oh, you do real estate." I said, "But what does that mean?" And she says, "Oh, you sell houses and stuff. Oh, and yeah, sometimes you sell businesses and you help people buy land. And then you put the solar stuff on them." And I'm like, "Oh, she was really paying attention." So
She
she knows
was
what I
paying
do.
attention. She
Right. She knows
was. She was like A
what
plus. Girl is on it.
yeah, she was on it. She was on it. My parents, I mean, I, they know what real estate is, but they don't really know exactly what it is that I do. They just know that I have the ability to, you know, buy and sell and help sell. Or if anything, now they think I have the answers to everything. Because my mom and my father, they actually own a multifamily here in Cambridge. So they're thinking I just know everything now that I got a license or something, right? Um,
Of
and you
course,
don't know.
you're licensed to like do everything now.
Yeah. Just another task.
Yeah, parents are like, hey, can you do this? At least that's
Hmm. And then they tell their friends that I could do this too, right? So
Oh, do they go that far? I thought they would cut you a break at least in that. And they go, oh, you can help my friend Judy. Like, I just call her.
yeah, in the Haitian community, or whatever, they will always volunteer your services to They're very supportive though. They're very supportive, but I mean, they know that I buy and they know what real estate is. But I
Yeah.
don't think they truly understand that I do commercial, which is business or working with small businesses. There's so many different facets to commercial real estate, but they don't know that I actually work with business owners to, help them find a space, or I have the ability to, buy land or things like that. I don't think they know that. Um, so yeah, I think they just think it's something with houses.
Most people think of real estate, they think of single family homes. But there's obviously so much more to it. Um, was there a reason you picked commercial real estate over residential?
To be honest, I always wondered why. I have a lot of friends that are in real estate
Mm-hmm.
um, for many, many years. And I always wondered why I've never heard or seen any of them do commercial.
Hmm.
Um, I had two friends in particular. We came from the direct sales world, and we would always go to these conferences. And during our conferences, some of them would be doing their real estate work, their deals. And I was like, why don't you do commercial? And I would always hear that it was either too hard or too complex, or it takes longer to get your pay, because it does take a little bit longer with these commercial deals. However, the payout is tremendous. It's great. And, I decided when I got my license to just go straight into commercial. I didn't even go into residential. The same license that I have here in the Commonwealth of Mass is the same license that allows you to do commercial. And I think I have the personality for it, the tenacity, the ambition, the hustle, the grit, all that.
Yes. So can you tell me a little bit more about the qualities people may want to have before considering commercial real estate for a career?
The qualities you definitely need to be, if you're not already a networker, I think networking is going to be your bread and butter in real estate, yes, but in commercial real estate, you need to be able to build your book of business, whether that's the landlords, business owners, just really putting yourself out there. Everyone should know real estate as a whole, but in the commercial world, it is not, you're pretty much working during the business hours. So you need to be able to keep busy and be organized. So those are things that I'm still working on. Organization, is definitely major key. One of the things that I wish I picked up earlier before even getting into the whole commercial real estate game was just time blocking. Oh my gosh. Time blocking that'll make or break you. Most people do not last, from what I hear in this industry. And time blocking is critical. Time blocking.
Can you explain a little bit more about time blocking for people who aren't familiar with that term?
There's a woman that I follow. Her name is Beth Azar. She is the canvassing queen for all of you who are, looking into commercial real estate. She's a great person to follow. And she talked about this method it's called the exercise of torture. And she recommends that you do this once a year.
I'm like, wait, exercise of torture. Explain this. I'm like, wait.
I did it one day. I didn't do it a whole week. But she recommends you do it for, 5 days. I think like 8:30 to 6 or 9 to 5, whatever your workday may be. And it's literally every 15 minutes, you are tracking what you did. You are writing it down for 5 days straight, every 15 minutes. And the reasoning behind that is, if you're someone who feels that you may not have enough time in a day, or, if you can fit another hour, or if you do this exercise of torture and you actually look back at what you've done, you will see that you may have some time in the day to get certain things done, right? Your priority list or whatever it may be. And so implementing that exercise, I did it one day and it was hard. But it was eye-opening, because as I'm learning about this thing called time blocking, that's taking your schedule and blocking off everything that you do. I work out, I drop my daughter off at school, we walk the dog, from making my cold calls to responding to emails, reading emails, a social media time, maybe reading an article. I'm subscribed to the New York Times. I try to read some sort of article, things like that. Just really blocking your time to the T on a weekly basis. I'm not there all the way just yet, but
I just think it's impressive to even like have the audacity to torture yourself. Like usually when I know I'm not focused, I will set my timer for 10 minutes at a time and just like go at whatever task and then like reset and do it again.
That's good though. What is that, the Pomodoro Method they say? Is that what it's called?
I don't know where it came from. I probably read something, but I was like, this works. I'm just gonna keep when I'm really like just like pinched and I'm like, you got to get it done, but you don't want to. It's like, just if you can do about anything for 10 minutes, even if you hate it. So
Yeah, and I think that's what it is. I mean, now that I'm incorporating the time block, and another thing too that's helped me is also having accountability partners. So I have an accountability partner. She's a commercial broker out in Tampa, and we, call each other, check in on each other, see how our time scheduling has gone for the week. What are the results, the wins? Were we able to maybe complete a project, or kind of move things along? And it helps. It really does. Time blocking will change the game, I think, in any industry or profession that you're in. But
that's great
it
advice.
should.
So
Yeah.
organize your time. Don't be shy. Everybody needs to know what you're doing, who to call when it's time to get the office keys.
I mean, Les Brown, I don't know if you know who Les Brown is. I'm sure you do. He says, you can waste money, but you cannot waste time. You don't get that back. Money, you can always blow it and make it back.
Yeah, sometimes double and triple.
Right. But time, right, it doesn't come back. It's gone. So yeah.
That is an excellent point. You can't waste time. It gives me something to think about for sure. So what did you want to be when you grew up? I know you wound up in commercial real estate. Was this always your dream?
I never really knew what I wanted to be when I grew up, to be honest, but I always kind of envisioned myself doing some type of executive type corporate boss stuff, but on my own terms, right?
So entrepreneurship was like always a thing for you.
I saw the vision. I didn't know that's what it was. I didn't know this thing. I didn't know entrepreneurship. I didn't know what it was called. I didn't know that was a thing. I just always kind of saw myself doing that. I definitely tried so many different things, and I guess that is an entrepreneur who will try everything. And it's funny, I've been pretty successful in almost everything that I've tried, but I didn't stick with it because it wasn't anything that I was, I didn't see me do it too long. But with this commercial real estate, it just goes with my personality. I mean, I think everything that I've done everything that I've done in my past life has brought me to this moment to truly be, all that I can be in this industry. And there's so many things that you can do with commercial real estate. And I think this will always be where I will play. And I'll get into other ventures, but this will always be the core, the foundation to everything that I do. I love to network. People call me, the power connector. I love to bring good people to other good people and great resources. And so this industry, this profession that I've chosen has definitely, it's second nature to me, and I feel, I was told, when you feel good, you perform good, you perform great. And I truly am happy where I am. And I'm just always looking for ways to excel. I'm reading more. I'm, just more engaged in so many different things that have to do with the growth of commercial real estate. I'm picking up magazines and I'm just soaking it all up. And I'm just like, man, oh my God, global franchising. Whoa, what's that? Just reading everything and I really get excited about it. And when I'm able to talk about it, I just have a lot of fun. So, yeah.
So work is like a joyful space for you. That's great to be able to find out. Like what things help you kind of decide to try commercial real estate on for size? You said you had several careers in your past life. What were some of those, and what kind of things helped you realize, okay, I like this part of this or that? What stood out?
So in my past life, one of the things that I used to be a social worker, and
yeah, that's a hard job.
It wasn't so bad.
Yeah.
It was, honestly, I felt like it was more management, the more you care, the more scrutiny I felt like I was under. And I really do care. I'm an empath. So,
yeah.
Yeah. So, I think for me, what was interesting when I was a social worker, my job was, so I worked with DCF, and I was the social worker that helped mothers regain custody of their children and remove DCF custody, and then help them, just build a sustainable life. That's, helping them to budget, their money, help them find jobs if some of them didn't have jobs. And that took, resume building, helping them do interviews, helping some of my moms find childcare, just different things like that. And pretty much helping them build the best profile that they can build, but then also helping them acquire the skills that they needed so that they can be successful, right?
So it really sounds like you were almost like part social worker, part life coach.
I guess so. Yeah, I was. And the funny thing is, in the commercial real estate world right now, I do tenant representation, and it literally mimics what I was doing as a social worker, because I literally I help. So it's my duty to help my clients, and my fiduciary duty to them to help them find a space that best fits their needs to their business. So for me, before we go look for a space, I'm asking you for your credit report. I'm looking for your finances. I'm looking for your business plans, your website, anything that can help you build your profile, so that when I'm going to these spaces, when I'm, reaching out to a listing agent or a landlord or a developer, and I have this tenant, they already know that I've done the research. So I'm bringing them a quality client that can either afford what they have, or, we can negotiate our point so that we can be a strong client that they'll take on. And so I'm literally doing the same thing on the commercial real estate side that I was doing as a social worker. So yeah, and it was a homeless shelter that I was working in. So yeah, so I was like pretty much there. If I wasn't at home, I was at the shelter working. So yeah.
Wow, I just love that you kind of made the connection between something like social work and commercial real estate. I don't think that most people would think that there's an overlap in skills in those jobs. They seem so different.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. However, I think as a social worker, you're used to the burnout. I think you're used to the burnout, and especially with the way everything is going on nowadays, I think you're used to the burnout. And so even now, doing what I do, I don't feel burnt out because I've juggled multiple clients all at one time. It's nothing, so it's just now I just have to organize myself as far as like during the day, time blocking, things like that, because there are more deadlines and, and that sort. But my job is the same way it was before. It's my duty to help you find the best, space for your needs, the same way for family. I'm helping a family find the best housing situation for themselves, for their children, maybe for a pet, making sure that they're doing that. And yeah, so it really mimics each other.
That's really cool. So what is something that you wish you knew before getting into commercial real estate?
Something that I wish I knew, aside from time blocking, that it was going to take time. I'm such a big thinker. The first book I read, actually, like my first self-development book, was The Magic of Thinking Big. I'm such a and I'm rereading it right now too. So it's funny, like just knowing that I needed to take my time. I think sometimes I was a sprinter too. So, I just want to go straight running into it. And it's like, no, you got to take your time, you got to take your time. I wish I knew to budget more, in the sense where it takes a little while in the commercial real estate world. A gentleman that I follow, Ed Ryland, I know he said, if you really want to be successful in this industry, you should have at least 6 months of reserves put aside, because it can get hard.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it does. I mean, fortunate enough for me, I have family, so I was able to, kind of survive, on my own on the things that I had going on. But then I had to support a family to help me out with my daughter when I needed, things like that. But yeah, I wish I knew to just take my time, but also budgeting. I think that would have carried me over, because I'm like, oh yeah, I'm good. I'll get paid. I'll get this when this happens. Yeah, let me go do this or go do, And so I think that was just kind of taking your time and just really having more, like setting my goals on more on the budgeting side of things. Yeah.
That makes sense, because I don't think anybody anticipates going into something like real estate, especially when the perception right now is how lucrative it is, to think that you need to have that money set aside. But it's more about the timeline. It's like, yes, I'm getting a nice sum of money, but it might take 90 days before we can cut the check after we close.
90 days, or even in some instances with commercial real estate deals, you know, it may get broken up. You know, maybe your tenant isn't paying their first rent until month 3 because maybe they're just covering, you know, the CAM charges, which is, you know, just the fees that you pay for maintenance or insurance, et cetera, of the space. And, you know, maybe you don't get your first check until after that 3 months,
Oh, wow.
you know, you just never know. And so I think it's interesting on that. And then also one thing I actually wish I knew, it hasn't affected me because I caught on later, but I learned from other people, is to put away for taxes.
Yes, if you're an entrepreneur, it's no longer coming immediately out of your check. You have to set that money aside for yourself. Otherwise, it's a real fun time in April.
And these checks, you know, I've seen some big checks, you know, and the money that comes in on this in this industry, you know, you better every time you get paid, you should put at least 30% away.
That makes sense.
Have a really good CPA. I love my CPA.
That's important to have, like, people who are really good with money and tax laws to make sure that you're in good standing, because nobody wants to owe the IRS anything.
I hear they're scary, and I heard they always can find you.
I know, I've heard that too. They're like, look, Uncle Sam will find you under a rock if he needs to.
Hello.
So when you're not focused on time blocking and being in an absolute, like, you just like beast mode in terms of like getting commercial real estate deals brokered and finished, how are you relaxing and recharging?
You really want to know?
Yes.
I work out.
That's how you recharge?
Yes, I do. It's just my time. I love to just keep myself in shape. That's really honestly how I relax, or just get some sleep when I can. And I like to bike. I like to, you know, do things with my daughter. We now have a dog.
So what dog did you get?
She's a golden doodle.
Oh.
Yeah, so she looks like a teddy bear sometimes when I let the hair grow out.
All the cute snuggles.
Yeah, she's a mini, so she's a fun time. And yeah, I'm really active. I'm a really active person. So I'm in a lot of different things. I bodybuild. I don't know if I shared that with you.
Really? You bodybuild? This is dope. How did you get into that?
I got into it like 4 years ago. I was working out with a group of women, and they wanted to bodybuild. One of them, she took it on, and she asked me, and I told her no.
I told her no.
I wasn't gonna. When she asked me, the show that she wanted to do was in the fall, and so the fall of 2017. So I did my first show in 2018, and I remember she had asked me to do it, and when I learned of the dieting and all that, and coming from the Haitian background, we, you know, summertime was coming up. We have a barbecue and party pretty much for everything. There's food at every single situation, whatever you want to call it.
Look, it's Monday and the sun is out. We're having a barbecue.
We're having a barbecue, right? Like, so, you know, I just found that it was going to be way too difficult for me to commit to something like that. And yeah, when I actually went to her show, and when I saw, and I worked out with her up to the point she did her show. And when I went to her show, and I was just in awe of her transformation. And it was really the discipline that I fell in love with. And when I saw that she didn't, I said, "Man, Judy, you said no to this. You know you could do this, right?" And then it was like really like this moment I had with myself that I said no to myself because I lacked discipline to get something done. And then I said, wow, where else in my life am I, missing something or an opportunity because I'm choosing to not do it because it's hard, right? And I think discipline is freedom. I don't think it's punishment. And I think at that moment, that's why I said, I'm gonna do it. And I did it. And I just did it just for the discipline. And it really transformed and translated into my personal life. I mean, everyone around me was eating better. Everyone around me really got into the whole working out for my family, my mother, my father, everybody was really doing their best to just be better, do better, look better, feel better, all that. And that was great. And I plan on doing another show, but I like I said, I really like the discipline aspect of it. So yeah, so that's what I do to relax, to be honest, is I'm in the gym.
I can see that. Like, I'm not a fan of the gym. I like to like do random dance workouts and stuff if I'm going to work out.
I like those too.
I'm like, give me some Zumba, like break out some booty bands. But yeah, I'm definitely not as disciplined. So I really appreciate your perspective. Like, discipline is freedom. So I said no to myself around discipline.
Yeah.
I never looked at it that way.
What else am I saying no to myself for? Because it's hard. I'm like, dang, I couldn't accept that. So that was it. That was really how I got started. And, just I had accountability partners around that. I believe in having accountability. I set up myself to have accountability partners in anything that I do and everything. Just so I can hold myself accountable, but then also it helps me just continue to grow and learn, So.
Yeah, no, it's one thing to hold yourself accountable, but like we're not infallible, so it's always good to have that person to go, look, I see you over here kind of thinking twice about this. You got it. Keep going. Like, it matters so much.
It does. It really does. I mean, it helps even in, with work for me. I have a partner, I make sure, we know what's going on. We talk to one another. We, talk about each other's deals. It could be a lonely journey if you think you're doing this by yourself. So, yeah.
I love that you like make such like effective use of your community and like the people in your life. You say, look, this is what I'm hoping to accomplish. This is what I'm going to accomplish. Support me in this. Hold me accountable. If I said I'm going to be here at 2:00 on Tuesday every week for the next 6 months, that's what I'm doing. Like, you're like, call in, check in. We've got checkpoints here. Like, it works. We talked about how you weren't really sure what you wanted to do when you grew up, and you tried a lot of things, but you really have found your thing in commercial real estate. We talked about your cute little golden doodle and your R&R time at the gym, which I admire greatly because that's definitely not how I relax.
Well, I like to eat. I love to eat.
Oh, look, ain't nothing wrong with eating, but you got to do the work so that you don't wear what you eat, and that's where I'm struggling. Like, it's fine to eat, but if you're not gonna move, you got to slow it
down. I feel you.
It's like, okay, it's fine if you eat this, but what are you doing in exchange?
Right.
Is there anything I haven't asked that you'd like to talk more about?
Let me see. Anything that you haven't asked? Let me see. I guess no. I think you asked me everything. Maybe like my family, like Yeah, I guess I can share a little bit about like just my family and how, I was raised. I think that's important. I'm
It's
really big
very
on,
important.
yeah, I'm really big on family. My parents came here from Haiti back in the 80s and, you know, made a way for us. And I think for me, my hard work ethics come from my parents. They work a lot and they were providers. So uh, I'm very proud of that. I'm very proud of that. This month is Haitian Heritage Month. Yesterday was Haitian Flag Day. So, I'm definitely proud of our culture and where I come from and where we're going. So, um, yeah, I think for me, one of the things, my passion projects in the future is to definitely go and do some work in Haiti with the solar, um, real estate, agriculture, all that. And so just really being able to build in our backyard here and then just just continue to connect with other like-minded individuals and being able to go back there and just to, just help build. We can do so much more together than apart.
So much more together. I love this passion project idea. You got to keep me posted on this one. Like, I
You coming
think
with
it's going
me?
to be. Oh, I'm coming. Bet I'm coming. I'm not even joking. Like, let me know when. If I'm like, we'll figure it out. I'll come.
Passport ready.
I'm like, I'm about to just stay ready.
It'll
Well,
be a
that
good
would be
time.
exciting. So we've got a future trip to Haiti already planned.
Haiti, other countries, we're gonna go to Peru, Cape Verde. We got some things lined up.
Because I need to travel more. So, Judy, thank you so much for sharing your journey with me and talking about your family and like how much love they like gave you growing up and just inspiration in terms of work ethic and how that's translated into your career and being willing to try different stuff like from social work to commercial real estate. Like that's one heck of a pivot.
Yeah.
All right. So if people would like to get in touch with you, how can they reach you?
You can find me on LinkedIn. My name is here, Judy, Judy Cazeau, Cazeau, on LinkedIn. You can also find me. My website is actually in the process of being constructed, so I'll get that over to you in a little bit.
Perfect. I will make sure it goes in the show notes and anywhere else that people can get a hold of you.
Yeah.
As far as commercial, this is one question I did not ask. As far as commercial real estate, your services are available in Massachusetts only, or is it beyond the state? How does that work? That's one question I didn't ask.
So I do have a company, JC Power Connect. JC Power Connect is going global.
Okay. We're going to say it is global.
It is global, I should say. Rewind, blooper, get that. It is global. And right now, you can find me anywhere, What was the question again? I just lost track.
I was just asking about like what geographic area do you serve?
Geographic, sorry.
What services? Like, is it limited or?
No. So right now I'm licensed in the state of Massachusetts. I will be getting my license. I'm actually looking into Georgia, New York, and other states to come soon. However, as far as just my company, I'm able to work with anyone around the nation. I am big on referrals. I built a referral network, so I'm pretty much able to assist anyone that comes to me. But geographically, I am stationed. I'm headquartered here in Boston, Massachusetts. My license is here in the Commonwealth of Mass, but I do have an extensive global network, and so I do referrals, and I can help you out. So reach out to me.
Okay, so this sounds like the person you need to call wherever your business is growing. If your company is expanding, call Judy.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
All right. Thanks everybody for watching Career Conversations. Judy, thank you for being a part of the show. We got to play in Haiti soon. And I'll talk to you guys later. Love y'all.